Hey everybody, welcome back to That Scale RC show. This is episode 101. This is Jeremy and I'm here with Adam. Travis is out today because he had to work late on some project stuff. Anyways, to give you guys a little bit of background information, we've been talking for about 20 minutes and had a technical difficulty on my end, and we didn't have any of Adam's half of the conversation recorded. So you missed some talk about wrestling. You missed a couple other things. But anyways, hi everybody. We're back again. Thanks to everybody that tuned in for our live broadcast of episode 100. That was a fun one. It was cool getting to hang out with everybody. So hopefully we can do something cool like that again here before too long. So anyhow, Adam, hi.
Hi.
Again. Hi again. How are you?
Oh, pretty good.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Just if anybody
level.
was curious, the only wrestling thing it got brought up because we're recording on Steve Austin 316 Day. So that's kind of where that rabbit hole started. So
yeah, we took a little trip down memory lane back to the 80s when I was a little kid interested in wrestling and stuff, and we talked about that for a while, and then I said that I made a new rig that I've been kind of working on for a while that I put together. It was a 1.9 element based Rift. Haven't had a chance to drive it yet. Should be fun. What else did we cover? We're just trying to get you guys caught up here because we're not going to have a ton of time tonight because of my blunder. So it's going to be a bit of an abbreviated episode. So that being said, I'm going to look really quick here and see if there's anything new coming out that everyone should be aware of. There's that Cross RC Chevy body that I sent you the picture of. That's coming out, which is really, really cool. They have some nice bodies, actually. Like Cross's hard bodies are bitching. Actually, and their Lexan ones, too. I like those Scout ones. Those are pretty nice. They do a good job on their bodies. There's a few that I have no idea what they were supposed to be, but they look nice. Man, this looks exactly like it did on Friday.
yeah, it's been kind of a quiet as far as like releases and RC lately.
Yeah. Well, that was their upcoming stuff. Let's see. Just arrived. Let's look and see there. Looks like there's some cool little Tamiyas that are going to be coming out. There's a little NSU-TT, which I have no idea. Oh, it's an MO5 chassis. That thing's crazy. Little Jägermeister race car.
Jägermeister, man, now that brings back memories.
That's the stuff that's like black licorice, isn't it?
Yep.
Gross, dude. I can't do black licorice at all.
Oh, I love black licorice.
Do you really? Oh, like red doesn't bother me at all, but black I can't do. It makes my stomach turn for some reason.
No, I love black licorice. And that actually, Jaeger used to be my drink of choice.
No kidding. Wow.
Yeah. Back in like my slightly before of age days and my very beginning of age days. But yeah.
It was always vodka or rum for me when I was younger.
No, it was always Jaeger. And then mainly also because like the reason why it was my drink of choice was because like we'd show up to like our buddy's house Friday night, because that was always like the crash spot, and I would grab the little, like, because they had like different sizes, and I used to always grab the small, I'd always call it a flask, but the small flask size, and a Rockstar, and you could mix the two together, and I could just drink that all night and be like, perfect.
Yeah, mixed. I used to like beer, and then it was mixed drinks after that. But shit, dude, I haven't drank since like 2009, I think.
So, yep. But yeah, so that was my it was Jaeger. And then the weird thing though is if anybody else is listening to this and they're like, ugh, Jaeger's disgusting. If you ever try Jaeger spiced, it does not taste anything like the original.
Is like good or bad? Like
It's
better or
different.
worse? Oh,
I,
really?
I mean, I can't say if it's better or worse because it's like it's something that you're like, for me, I wasn't expecting it because I know what Jaeger tastes like. So I'm like, oh, okay, it's probably gonna have like a little more kick to it or something. I don't know. And then I took a sip of it and I'm like, this doesn't even taste anything like Jaeger. Like it just kind of throws you for a loop.
That's good.
So
Let's see. G-Made. There's a lot of, well, I shouldn't say a lot, but man, that's two companies with square body Chevys that have come out. Let's see. What else? What else? What else? Yeah, looks like really to me is about the only ones that have got like a bunch of new rigs coming out. The only thing that I'm seeing off-road wise from is the latest thing was just that Mint 400 edition Baja Ray. That's it. There's really not a lot going on. Huh. Well, yeah.
yeah, so um the other, I mean, I can go back on my like kind of like sad story that I was talking about before we realized it wasn't recording.
Yeah, go for it.
So basically, I have a buddy who has a fellow colleague that works with him, and basically, I guess they went out somewhere, and kids want to go play by themselves, yada yada yada, but they're always within you know eyes reach. They can always see what's going on. And his daughter's 7 years old. She's had this deadbolt since she was 4, and she was out playing with it, and some guy ran up, snatched the car. The parents started running after the guy. The guy hopped in a running car, and they took off. They were like beyond pissed off, and it was just like one of those things. Like like it's a sad story in multiple ways, but it's like really sad when you realize it's like it's devastating when it happens to a 7-year-old girl who like knows nothing about what's going on in the real world. She's never experienced theft, she's never experienced anything like this, and now she's just like completely dumped on her head. So
That is one of the worst things I've ever heard of somebody doing to a little kid.
yeah, so I took it upon myself, and I have a rig that I was going to put up for sale. It's pretty much a bone stock rig, but I have a stock deadbolt body laying around, and I am going to surprise her with a slightly used SCX-10-2 with a deadbolt body on it to basically replace the rig that got stolen from her.
Oh, that was nice of you.
Yep. Well, my buddy
Dude, that's so messed up.
pulled on my
God.
heartstrings, so
Well, yeah, I mean, you'd have to be a horrible person for that not to. That's terrible, dude. Could you imagine? I mean, just wow. I just can't imagine somebody doing that to a kid knowingly and just shitting on that kid's childhood. Like they're not going to forget that. That's going to stay with them forever.
oh, tell me about it. So
That's so messed up, dude.
yeah.
Wow. Well, that was really nice of you to do that.
So yep. And then my buddy's son is going to build some bumpers for it, and then yeah, we'll be ready to go. So
Nice.
yep. So stepping up, like I said, I just feel bad. So I had to.
Yeah,
I
man.
had to. It's like once he told me that, I was like, I can't. I can't not do something.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
but yeah. So yeah, people suck, but it goes to show you like how crazy everything in the world is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't like that more like crappy things like that are becoming commonplace.
Oh, tell me
Like
about it.
like what is going on in somebody's head that makes them think that like I just what would push you to do something like that? You know what I mean? Like just unbelievable.
Well,
Wow.
the other way I look at it too is like the way at least and I don't know if this is like quote unquote my logical side thinking about it, but if you really think about like what they did, it's like okay, out of all the RC cars you went to go steal, you stole like the least expensive ready to run that they make, and you don't even
Yeah.
have the remote.
Yeah, exactly.
So not only did you steal a car that's like was new, I think like roughly 250. You got a rig that's maybe worth about 200 right now because it's completely bone stock, and you have to go out and get a remote for it. So you're gonna be right back up to where you were if you just bought one.
Well, they're probably gonna just sell it for meth or something, honestly.
Probably, probably, but still, it's just like, but that's what they always said: thieves are not the smartest people,
Yeah.
in the bunch because it's like they're not really, like the true, I guess, career criminals know what they're stealing. This is more
Yeah.
like just, hey, I see that. I could probably make a quick buck on it. I'm going to snatch it. And yeah.
There's nah, never mind.
What?
Oh, nothing. I changed my mind.
Well, it's kind of like, which I don't know if I ever mentioned this story um, in a past episode, but like, I want to say, we going on maybe 2 years ago now? Maybe a year and a half. I don't know, honestly. But like I'll never forget when I woke up and came outside and the tailgate to my 94 was down and my taillights were gone. It's like you
What?
guys seriously stole my taillights? Like out of
Wow.
all the things you could steal, you stole my taillights.
I had somebody steal a baseball hat out of the bed of my truck when I was out riding one day. And they took a couple tools too. I thought that was kind of a weird thing to steal somebody's used hat.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess if they really like it or really wanted it.
There,
That was like I had so when I used to go I went to Hangtown one year and we were in the 94 and I had this I liked it and I still to this day cannot find another ammo can like that. It was a 50 cal ammo can, but it was a side opener.
oh, really?
So the lid flipped sideways. It didn't
Oh,
flip
that's cool.
backwards. So, I bolted it to the big thick horse mat that's the bed mat in that truck and just to kind of keep it from falling over. I never bolted it in there to like keep it from being stolen. I just didn't want it to fall over. So I used to keep tie downs in there. That was the main purpose of that ammo can was just to have tie downs and stuff.
Hmm.
So we went to Hangtown. I didn't think anything of it. Went to Hangtown, whatever, watched the races, left. It wasn't until like a couple days later when we're back home and I was doing something and I was like, oh crap, I need to tie this down. Drop the tailgate and I go, where the hell's my ammo can? Somebody just yanked the thing through the rubber and just walked off with it. And the thing that made me even more mad than everything was the fact that they had these tie downs that I really genuinely liked in there. Like I never saw anything like it. I'm sure maybe now there's you probably find this style more often, but I went to a Tractor Supply and they had these tie downs that had like rubber infused in the bottom side of the strap. So like when you went over something, it actually like gripped. Like it didn't just like slide around.
Right.
So I was like, dude, I love these things. And I was so mad because I was like, all my sets were in that ammo can and now they're gone.
That sucks.
But it's like, you're like, really? It's like, you're like, I don't know. But then again, looking back on it now, it's like, that's probably me just being naive, because,
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
I'm not trying to throw shade on the area, but, it's up in
no,
Prairie City. It's in Sacramento area. It's, there's some,
well, it's like here. I mean, the closest hobby shop to us is in Marysville, which is probably about 30 minutes from Seattle, if I had to guess. And it's it's Tweakerville, you know, like it's near Everett, which is another, you know, huge drug problem population there. And the hobby shop that's near us has been, I mean, dude, it used to get broken into probably about once a month. I bet somebody would
That's
break
crazy.
into it. And he had everything from people breaking the front door down. Somebody tried to cut a hole in the rear door, the door, you know, the back door. They tried to cut a hole in that with a skill saw and only got about halfway through. And then another time, somebody was on the roof, dude. They got up on the roof and tried to hack their way in with a freaking axe.
Yeah, if you're desperate enough, they'll use whatever.
Through the roof, though. So
Yep.
poor guy shows up the next day and there's water, you know, coming through the ceiling because it's Washington and it rains here. And just, man, oh man, I can't even think, like, what that guy probably pays in insurance premiums each month from having so many thefts. It's so bad.
Well, the craziest thing that has to involve a hobby shop for me at least was, I'll never forget. I think it was the last Fire and Ice that we went to. So it's had to be like 2017, 2008, maybe 2018. Yeah, maybe 2018, because I remember it was 2018 Axial Fest. CKRC closed their doors, so it was the winter of that year. So yeah, it had to be 2018. And I'll never forget, we go up there, we're hanging out at the shop, and Jason, the owner, had his RV out in the parking lot, the actual like drivable RV, and he had propane tanks, you know, locked but strapped to like the back portion of the RV. And I happened to walk outside to go check something in Elio's Jeep or grab something or whatever. And here's this guy like kind of like snooping around the back of the RV. And I go, "Can I help you?" "Oh, yeah. I live on the streets and I was trying to see if there's a way I could like borrow some propane to heat up some food." And I'm going, how are you going to borrow propane? You're going to like puff it in your mouth and then try to like
give it back when you're done.
I'm like sitting here going like, dude, like what the hell? So I immediately went in and I told Jason, and Jason was like freaking out because he's like, we need that because it's going to be freaking colder than balls at, Moon Rock.
Yeah.
So he went out and unlocked him and threw him in the RV so you couldn't see him. But I mean, it's like,
Jesus, dude.
I mean, like I said, they're people, if they're desperate for whatever it is, they'll, do whatever. I mean, like, I probably shouldn't say this too many times because it'll probably come true, but like I keep telling Michelle, I said, I wouldn't be surprised if one time I come outside and go to fire up the 94 and it doesn't fire up because somebody drilled a hole in the fuel tank and stole all my fuel.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be a reality before too long here, is people stealing gas again.
Especially now.
What'd you pay the other day? Or recently?
Oh,
well,
recently?
You buy diesel, though, so it's different for you because you buy diesel.
Yeah, well, I get hit both ways. So the 94 has the super chips in it, and I think it's super chips that are Jet, whatever the company is that makes the little piggyback chip that you put in the old trucks. And so that says you need to run it on 91. So I put 91 in the 94, and I put diesel in my Duramax. Well, it was $6.69 for diesel when I filled up on Saturday.
Wow.
So
yeah, I think I paid $4.59, $4.69, something like that the other day.
Well, you also got to remember
for regular. I get peasant fuel here, so.
Well, you also got to remember peasant fuel.
I do, dude.
You also got to remember, I'm in California, where the idiots here voted for a gas tax because they thought it was going to make our roads better.
Right.
So,
dude, money for stuff like that goes everywhere except where it's supposed to be. I remember when Oregon finally went to where you had to have like an OHV permit to go ride your motorcycle on like BLM or any kind of public land. That was a new thing. And all the fees for that were supposed to go towards maintaining the trail systems and stuff. And it didn't. There was all kinds of bills passed and stuff where they would, like want to use money, revenue from the sales of the OHV passes in order to like use for other stuff. And there was like this big thing about it because it was supposed to like, it was supposed to stay within the off-road community and go towards maintaining the trails and buy a groomer and stuff like that. And, pay the wages for the Forest Service to go out there and groom the trails and stuff like that. And so for a number of years, all they did was just rob that off-road fund. So a lot didn't happen until very close to like 2008, 2009.
Yep.
And that's just typical, dude. They just,
Yeah, but the worst part was this last one. They purposely like worded it so messed up that you couldn't understand that if voting for it would actually was the good or the bad, and it just
Dude, voters pamphlets trying to read bills is, I mean, like you have to have a law degree. Like they have things so convoluted, and they can put stuff in there that's in a language to where, you think it's doing one thing, and in turn it's actually doing something else because of the way they worded it. Like I don't know, it's a pain in the ass. It's kind of messed up that they do things like that. Because it's kind of an insult to the population if you think about it, where they're like, oh, we can pull this over them and nobody's going to be the wiser, like that's just kind of what happens.
Yep.
Nobody can really do anything. Like what is some like private citizen going to go sue the state of Oregon because the OHV funds got robbed for something else?
Yep.
Not robbed, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Pretty messed up.
So anyway, so that's that, and I mean, and not to get totally off topic, but like there's even like they were trying to get enough people were trying to like sign a petition and vote to have our state like put a hold on that tax until fuel prices change, and our government shut it down. So nope.
Of course not, because it's probably giving them funding for something they have a vested interest in.
You mean their pockets?
Yeah. Ah, so crooked.
So, but
it was funny. We really haven't like talked about Ukraine or anything, which I'm surprised neither of us have said anything about it. But I was thinking today, the last 2 days, because people that missed it, or since we didn't. I messed up recording, and so I don't think they heard the part about it, but I had like kind of some blood pressure issues, and I'm having some issues with trying to get my insurance to cover the prescription that I need. And so then I start thinking about like Ukraine. I'm like, dude, there's probably hundreds, if not thousands of people in Ukraine right now in the same situation that I am, that needs their meds, and they have no access and won't for who knows how long. As far as like medication and prescriptions and stuff like that. I mean, how do you, some of that stuff is, people's lives depend on certain prescriptions. Like, it's just one of those things you don't really think about, and here I was feeling sorry for myself, and I was like, well, wait a second, Yeah. These got just messed up. Yeah. So I don't feel too bad for myself now after thinking about that. In fact, I feel kind of foolish for being all poor me about it.
Yeah. No, I get it. I don't know. I probably should keep my whole opinions to everything to myself so I don't piss anybody off, but yeah.
But Wolverines.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah. So
the reptile people.
Yeah. Oh man. What time is it? 9:40? How long have we been going? Watch me accidentally close it.
Watch it. It was probably only like 20 minutes since we like re-recorded.
Dude, it's only been 25 minutes, but it feels like it's been like an hour.
Well, because we started like an hour ago.
Yeah, that's true too.
But Yeah, I mean, as far as RC goes, I think there's a couple like I think like that big company or that big event, Beat the Creek, is coming up.
Oh yeah, who puts that on?
I gotta look it up. Let's see, Beat the Creek. About. Well, it says Chris Lindgren and Joe Hawk are the admins, so I don't know if they put that on. But yeah, it is Saturday, May 14th to May 15th. So.
And then right after that, the guys from Element have their event coming up. So that'll be cool. That's, I think, the weekend of the 20th or something. That's Dead Man's Crawl down at Horsemans Park, where they have By the Fire. So that'll be a fun one.
Yep. And then I guess the other big thing that everyone's talking about is supposedly Axial is supposed to announce something that's going on with Axial Fest West, but nobody's heard or seen anything.
Really?
Supposedly.
Huh. Wonder what the news is. That's interesting.
Whether it's happening or not.
Oh, really? You think so?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I mean, like...
I was hoping it was going to be, like, good news, like it's at a new location or something, or it's...
Well, no, I mean...
I don't know.
I mean...
I was hoping it was something good.
Honestly, I have no idea. I mean, I was, like I said, like, I'm hoping that it's, you know, we have some good news and we know what's going to happen. We know where it's going to be, yada, 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 yada. But who knows? Because, I mean, to be honest, I don't know if anybody really knows this, but, you know, so Cisco has had its fair share of issues since they sold. And then Donner now is now also up for sale. So from what I've heard,
Donner too, huh?
Yeah, they're saying that the contacts at Donner are in the air, so we don't know what that exactly means. So yeah,
That's lame.
Yep. So like I said, I'm just hoping they announce something because, you know.
Yeah, that'd be nice if it's some good news instead of bad.
Yeah. Well, regardless what it is, you know, people still complain about it. Like I still to this day in the Axial Fest or Bus page still see everybody say, like, somebody actually put up a kind of like a poll and said like where would you wish they would host Axial Fest, you know, for 2022 or whatever, and people like they all say the same thing. Oh, they need to come back to Cisco, and it's like when are people gonna realize that it's like it has nothing to do with Axial. It's the fact that Cisco is a dumpster fire right now. Honestly, it literally caught on fire this last year. So it's like there's nothing, like the store's like in rubble, like, you know, it's half burnt. You know, they still haven't finished doing what they were doing, and it's already changed hands again since it sold, which I think some of that had to do with the pandemic. So it's like, you guys, like, you're asking for it to go somewhere where they like physically cannot do it. And it's like everybody says the same thing over and over again. And I get it. Cisco was iconic. It was the iconic place. That'd be like if all of a sudden they couldn't do Proline by the Fire in Apple Valley.
Right.
You know, like, I get it. It'd be devastating, but, you know, stuff does happen and there's nothing they can do about it. But it's like the stuff that gets frustrating is like the people, like, and there's straight up people who have not been to Axial Fest at Donner, and they'll jump in that thread and talk about Cisco. And it's like, if you haven't been to the latest Axial Fest, you really should not speak on what's going on because you haven't lived it. You weren't there. You don't know what it's like. And personally, I'm torn between the two because Donner, in my opinion, has much better terrain. You got granite slabs, you got foresty trails. The only thing you lose at Donner is water. There is no like creeks or anything right there, but the terrain is epic. And but there aren't the same kind of camping amenities because it's not a campground, it's a ski resort. Then there's Cisco, where it was a lot of trails and you had great camping. So it's like you almost need to find a place, which I know doesn't exist, that has the camping of Cisco, but the terrain of Donner.
I never got to check Donner out, but if I liked Cisco, I'm sure I would really, really like Donner.
Donner, my favorite areas of Donner was always, like I said, the granite sections. Those had some of the coolest lines. I mean, yeah,
All this stuff down by the river at Axial Fest was really fun too. Like all that slick rock and stuff.
yep,
That was pretty fun. Actually, at Cisco, pretty much any of the spots near the water were pretty fun.
yeah.
Like that one area, it was like E or F in 2016 that was closer to when you first come in. That spot was unbelievable.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely,
You
and
you know where I'm talking about,
yeah,
right?
hmm
Yeah, that was so freaking cool.
and so that's what gets hard. And it's like, yeah, there were a lot of great memories at Cisco, but you know what? It is what it is. We have like us as the event goers really have no choice. Like, they're going to host the event, they're going to pick where they want it, and either we choose to go or don't go.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm just hoping that it still, happens because my biggest fear is so Axial Fest, of course, switched locations the year before we went into the pandemic. Then you throw in the pandemic, there was no Axial Fest. Then last year was a little different. And then if you don't have Axial Fest this year, I just have a feeling they're just setting themselves up to be very hard to bring that level of event back.
Yeah.
People are going to start going, okay, it's not happening. They're going to start planning for other areas.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So
I miss that whole just overall feeling of excitement of being down there too. That was such a good time.
yeah,
Where you just don't want to go to sleep because you're just want to go drive more and hit more trails, and it's just total fun overload.
yep,
Those were good times. Definitely. It'd be neat if there was another big flagship type event like that again. I mean, By the Fire is probably the closest, like, big one, but,
yep.
like, the multi days worth of camping and stuff, like, man, I miss that.
But see, even Horseman's Park has its challenges because I think was it last year or the year before? I forget what year it was. I remember Elio went, and I'll like it was like a shock to me. I got a phone call from him. So he left on I think Thursday. I got a phone call from him Saturday, like evening, and I'm like, "Oh, what's up, dude? How's By the Fire?" I'm on my way home, and I'm like, "What do you mean you're on your way home?" He goes, "Dude, the wind is miserable."
Really?
He goes, "You're getting pelted by the sand. I mean, it's nasty, and some storms rolling in tonight." So he goes, "I wanted to get ahead of it," and I'm like, "Dude, that's nuts."
That
And it's like,
sucks.
yeah, and so it's like there are those challenges with multiple events. So it's like you just got to kind of deal.
Yeah.
But anywho,
Well, hopefully it's good news. I haven't heard anything about the Eastern one.
Badlands.
Yeah, I always forget that name.
Badlands, it's been announced. It's I forget the dates. I'll look it up right now.
I am just incredibly out of the loop then. You seen Chris from Hemistorm's latest paint job?
The airbrushed one?
The SCX6 Jeep?
Yep.
God damn, dude. So nice. That guy can paint.
Yeah. I thought they had the announcements. Saw it somewhere. Because somebody was talking about, oh, what weekend would you like to see Axial Fest at? And somebody said, not these dates because that's Badlands, and I'm trying to do both.
Oh.
I just got to find it, though. I wonder if somebody posted an Axial Fest or bust. Yeah,
we should have Manny on sometime.
Yeah. Give him a call.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to find it, but I forget. I'm sure somebody will chime in and tell us when it is. I just can't believe it's this hard to figure out what the dates are.
Everything's weird now. It's okay. Nothing's normal.
Well, I'm just saying it's like crazy how much work it is to like try and find when it is. Because I know Elio put something up too saying he was... Oh, here we go. June 22nd to 25th. Axial Fest Badlands, Attica, Indiana. So, yep. So that's still a go.
That'll be good. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens the next few days.
Yeah, it could be weeks.
Yeah, that's true.
Knowing them.
Usually, though, by like February or March, they usually have the announcements made because that's kind of when everybody plans for it. Which is kind of weird.
That's why we're all trying to see what's going on.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. Well, I know we're only 38 minutes in. Listener time, our time, it's more, but I don't really have much else, do you?
Yeah, there's nothing else, and I don't want to bore everybody with rambling on.
Oh, it's all good. Right on. Well, everybody, enjoy the rest of your week. I hope it's a good one. Don't do anything crappy to each other, like steal cars or anything. And what else? That's really about it.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know if this will work. I wanted to go out on a soundbite.
Uh-oh.
And that's the bottom line. What?
Oh my God.
There you go. We're done.
Oh, I should have known. That was great. All right, everybody. Have a good week, and we'll see you next time.
See you next week.